here because first and foremost for myself. That's why I made it on April the 6th in the rain. I knew that my soul needed to be here, and I was like, I had forgot. And I gotta acknowledge my girl Diva. Diva has had this show. Black Diva, my girl, she has been my inspiration. Black Diva has had this show, y'all. Y'all know for twice every Friday for a whole hour. She had it. Not a half an hour. It's a half an hour now. I'm thanks because I used to have my hour shows and it was booming, popping. I mean, it was complete. I had my audience. I had my panel. I fed the people. I mean, I created the topic. I had did the networking myself. Did it had the children performing, the young children doing their dance, doing their spoken word, and even my son. When I did my first show, the Real Life Mermaid Show, my son did. He was about 5 years old. He did a piece off the Temptations because he had an old soul. And the first topic of my show was the killings and the homicides. Now, isn't that something? That was the first topic, is doing something about the killings and the homicides of our young black boys. That was my first topic, and that started in 1999. So I'm thinking, what am I going to name this show after? And I'm saying Yalani, why Chin Yamurindi? Because I said first it's for me. I came out in the rain, had forgot, thinking, no, this is the show that I have committed myself to, because I'm thinking in memory of my son, what will I come out in the rain on a Friday night at 5:30 for strongly? Because I've been fighting for the community for over 28, 29, 30 years. I might as well say adding it up. And, I've been fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And no offense, you as you get older, you be like, what are you getting? Because, when no one pays you anything, you're not charging nobody for being there and doing this and doing that when you're doing community work. So it's like, now what is going to get me up out of my bed, when I'm going through what I'm going through in the rain? And it was my son. I said I would get up and I would come out in the rain for my son, for his show. So this show is in memory of my son, YY, Yalani Yemas Chin Yamurindi, because that YY, we're going to get into the YY chromosomes, why they're killing all the black Hebrew boys, the YY. It's a lot of YYs. Why? It's questions. Why we in this? Memory of my son, this is going to take us into journeys where we wouldn't think where the YY, the YY chromosome, we can go, but the Y, the YHW, Y is just a phenomenon. It is a consonant. And a consonant is a very, very positive energy. A consonant does not consist of the vowels, which is the aggressions, and the A, E, I, O, U's, the I, O, grunting vowels. It's a consonant. A consonant is rhythmical. It got music to it. It got a beat to it. It's no obstructions. It's no. And his name was Yalani Yalani Yemas. Now, Chin Yamurindi, Zimbabwe from the House of Reverence. And we're going to get into the meaning of Zimbabwe and how the root and the ruins of Zimbabwe and why it's known for the ruins. It's getting deep. We're going to take it back to Africa. We're going to take this name back to our continent. So we will not forget about Africa through my son. So it's a lot that this YY, Chin Yamurindi, Zimbabwe, Harare means, House of Reverence. So, I'm really, really happy. And this is what makes me smile, is talking about the legacy of my son, his letter that he wrote. I'm going to be coming to you, reading you about this wonderful letter that my son left. And when I read the letter and the meaning of why that letter, how it means so much, after a few days I found out that my son had been murdered, and I had this big old question why, and I was led to his school, City College that he was in, And sure enough, the teacher was right there being led at that moment when I walked in. I didn't even let the school know I was coming. And his teacher was walking into the director's office, dropping off a letter for me. That is how the power of the universe moves, baby. And when that teacher put that letter in my hand, I'm going to be telling us the story of that next week and the details of that because it's truly, truly a testimony. Everyone, I came on today in the rain, making sure that start to be committed to this television program twice a week. The next is going to be on the 20th. I just wanted just everyone to, here I am. I'm in the land of the living and not the dead. And I want to share with you what I've been going through and the experiences and what I've been learning and what I'm learning about the community and what I'm learning about the mothers and what I'm learning about these detectives and what I'm learning about the homicides not being solved. And then I'm learning about how the district attorney office and how all that works and all the things that is identifying with this case and how I see the mother is suffering. And now I have a better understanding to why the mother is suffering is because she's being left out. If a mother has lost their child to community violence, many times they don't have the opportunity to express it and to continue to speak their child's name, if it was a boy or a girl. These women are mothers I'm seeing are not being able to speak their child's name. And I'm seeing that. I'm like, is something going on here? And they see other mothers getting support because of the police brutality. And don't get me wrong, I'm for the support for police brutality. I'm 100% in it. However, I'm seeing that the community homicides, they are not being spoken of. It's like it's dead. It's you have a march here or a march there, but it's not being acknowledged. And I'm seeing these mothers, including myself, saying, you can't even speak your son's name if it hasn't been affiliated with the police. You can get in there and maybe search yourself, but if you're not that type of person and you see that it's basically for the police brutality and that's why everyone's coming together, and then your child's been murdered to community violence and we're not saying anything. I'm like, you know what? I said, we're going to have a dialogue about this because I refuse to keep my son's name silent. I refuse that I can't ever mention my son's name again. I just can't see that. So I said, well, I'm just going to just go ahead and just call it Chin Yamurindi and speak my son all day and all night and put a smile on my face and share some wisdom at the same time because I'm going to speak my son's name. But I do things decently and in order. I don't just speak it anywhere according to because certain places don't fit. But then I find that you have a mother that's in pain on the inside and being tortured, and she can't speak her son's name. And we supposed to be talking about violence, and then your child and who guns, took their life. You can't. I said, wait a minute, no, that's not natural. And so you'll find yourself getting angry on the inside. So I said, no, and I'm not going to sit on nobody's couch, y'all. So I said, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to use my show and my son would want this.